Faster, higher, stronger, the modern Olympic Games. The Olympic Games are a sporting event like no other. While the ancient Olympics have a long history of over 1,000 years, the modern Olympics have a much shorter history. In 1894, a French aristocrat named Pierre de Coubertin dreamed of reviving them. Like the ancient Greeks, he believed that sport had an essential role in the education system and in the formation of strong moral character. He was also a keen sportsman himself and practiced the sports of boxing, fencing, horse riding, and rowing. Coubertin believed that sport had an up. Coubertin decided the best way to promote sport was to revive the Olympic Games. He formed an international Olympic committee whose job it was to organize the first modern Olympic Games. They did this successfully, and in 1896, the first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens, Greece. The Olympic Games in 1896 feature many references to the ancient games. The majority of the competitions took place in the ancient stadium, which was restored for the occasion. Some of the sports from the ancient games were echoed in the modern games, including weightlifting, wrestling, and athletics. There was also cycling, fencing, gymnastics, swimming, tennis, and shooting. The organizers even went as far as inventing a new race inspired by a legendary event in ancient Greek history, the Marathon race. This race commemorates the exploit of a soldier who, in 490 BC, ran from the town of Marathon to Athens to announce that the Persians had been defeated in battle. Legend has it that the soldier delivered a message to Nike, then collapsed and died. The distance was approximately 42 kilometers. The modern Olympic Games have 28 different sports. The IOC sets the program and decides which sports will be included. Unlike the ancient games, individuals represent their country, and team sports like rowing, softball, baseball, basketball, soccer, volleyball, and hockey are included. Until 1992, lesser-known sports were also included as demonstration sports alongside the official Olympic program. Some demonstration sports include bandy, duck sled racing, and water skiing. The Olympic program has come a long way since 1896. Some sports have been discontinued, others were dropped and then reintroduced, while several new sports have been added. The most important Olympic symbols are the rings, the motto, and the flame. The rings represent 5 continents. They are interlaced to show the meeting of the athletes of the whole world during the Olympic Games. On the Olympic flag, the rings appear on a white background. The 6 colors of the flag, including the white background, represent all nations. The Olympic symbols. The motto is made of 3 Latin words, Citius, Altius, Fortius. These 3 words encourage the athlete to give his or her best during competition and to view this effort as a victory in itself. In memory of Olympic Games' origins, a flame is lit in Olympia, Greece some months before the opening of the Games. The Olympic flame can only be lit by the sun's rays. The flame burning in the Olympic torch is carried from Olympia to the host country. Past and present Olympic athletes, as well as ordinary citizens, run with the torch through towns and cities. Modern Olympians are as legendary as the ancient Greek heroes before them. Sun Kim was only 17 years old when she won gold medals in both the individual and team archery events at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. In the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, Kim won a silver medal in the individual event and another gold medal in the team event. She then retired at the age of 21. Over the next 7 years, Kim married and raised 2 children. In 1999, she started training again and qualified for the South Korean Olympic team for the Sydney Games. In Sydney, she finished 3rd in the individual archery event. Sun Kim now had a complete set of medals, gold, silver, and bronze. One of Korea's most determined heroes was Ki Chung-sun. As Korea was occupied by Japanese forces, Sun had to participate in the 1936 Berlin Olympics as a Japanese team member. He was forced to use a Japanese name, Keitei-san. At the Games, Sun resisted the pressure from the Japanese. He always signed with his Korean name, and whenever he was asked where he was from, he explained that Korea was a separate country. Sun became a Korean national hero when he won the Berlin Olympic Marathon by more than 2 minutes. One newspaper, The Wild Bowl, published a photo of Sun on the victory platform with one change. They painted over the Japanese flag on his sweatshirt. Staff members were jailed and the newspaper's publication was suspended. Like the ancient Olympics, the modern Olympics happened in a place for politics as well as sports events. In 1968, in the Mexico City Olympics, American athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos demonstrated against racial segregation in the United States. And the American flag was raised to celebrate their victory. The athletes raised their fists and bowed their heads. This gesture showed their support for the rights of African Americans. As a result, however, there was sin hung. In 1972, Palestinian terrorists took Israeli athletes hostage. They wanted to turn the world's attention to Palestine's situation and demand the release of Arab hostages held by the Israelis. The event ended in tragedy when the hostages were executed by the terrorists before in turn they were killed by the police. At the opening ceremony of the 2000 Games in Sydney, Australia, South Korea and North Korea marched under a single flag. They were greeted by thunderous applause and tears. The 2021 Tokyo Olympics start soon. During this time, athletes and spectators alike will experience an intense moment. A new record, dignity in defeat and victory, and the feeling of being part of another Olympiad. Thank you.